Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming back at you today with another Division video, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the future content coming to this game and where things are going to be headed into the future. Yes, the PTS for 1.5 in survival just ended the other day, but we are looking past this. Yes, Xbox.com, their marketplace, all that other stuff, the Microsoft Store, whatever you want to call it, revealed that survival is going to be out first on Xbox One and PC starting November 22nd, PlayStation 4 to follow sometime in December before the end of the year, hopefully before Christmas Day. Now, with that being said, there's only one DLC pack left, a paid DLC pack, not a free one, for year one content of The Division. We are finally going to be hitting towards the last stand. Apparently there were some data miners that already found out some information on the last stand. I refuse to go and look at it because I don't want to be, spoiled. I really do enjoy this game for what it is and what it has to offer and all the new features that have come along with it. And I really do feel that 1.5 was the perfect way to try and make it so that we would have a last hurrah before getting into the last stand and possibly getting to a point where we're going to be like, you know what, we're going to hit our max level of it's 256 once survival launches. It may go up to what, 260 something, 280 something. They may even do a straight level cap of 300 for all we know when last stand comes around, to go ahead and try and round it off at a really good even number or something. And then we got to start thinking about, okay, E3 June 2017. It's going to be here before we know it. And I'm sure that Microsoft is already, pre-planned for this. They probably already paid for that content early. So it's probably going to be the same scenario of Xbox One and PC players getting it before everyone else. If Microsoft was smart, they would have prepaid for this. Now, yes, that really does make the PlayStation community really upset and irate, but that's just the way things work. DLC deals are made all the time with companies, and it's the way things are now. I mean, everyone knows you don't necessarily make the money off the game. It's the season pass and the DLC where you make all your money and microtransactions and this and that. Thank God The Division does not have microtransactions. If it did, we would be in serious, serious trouble. All right, so let's think about it for a second. Year two, where could we possibly begin year two to try and make this a much better experience for everyone? First of all, let's go ahead and take a look at their latest hit, Survival, how it's been compared to Battle Royale and like H1Z1, and it's just in DayZ. There's so many things that could have made Survival a unique gameplay experience with a ton of spin-offs that they can still do, which is going to make that mode awesome. And I'm sure they're going to build off of what they've created to make a much better gameplay experience, to get more content and more replayability out of it, which is going to be a lot of fun, because PvE and PvP isn't going to last long. People are already getting bored of it that were playing it in the PTS, and some would say the NPCs were a little too hard. Some would say playing in a group is too easy, although you have to share loot. And those who are playing in PvP say people just wait for you to do an extraction to take 100 down, and then they kill you, and it's a joke. And there's the whole grouping situation and then playing solo, so that will be addressed at a later time. But let's go ahead and talk about the future. Where do we go from here? Is it going to be, oh, year two, we're not in a snowy New York anymore? Is it going to be a spring, summer sort of scenario where we're going to have a bunch of melted snow? There's going to be harsh conditions, so you're not really worried about necessarily the snow anymore. You're going to be worried about heat and exhaustion, so you got to keep yourself, replenished and refreshed, and make sure you're not going to die of thirst. There's so many things that you can do with the weather elements in a video game. There's so many things you can do with just the survival side of the video game, because they could take a lot of aspects from survival, throw them in the real game, and have one hell of an experience that they're missing out on currently. Now, DLC content. I'm hoping year two is strictly DLC content. You could just buy the digital version of it. It's going to update it like Destiny does, and that's what you start loading your game up as. I think that would be phenomenal. But I want to see the story continue. I want to see us go from level 30 and advance up to maybe like level 50 or 60. Have some really unique weapons that we can start using, and not necessarily have these weapons where they're considered high ends and everything, but have it so they're all leveled out according to our leveling system, and have these unique high ends and everything else that we're getting with 256 and all this crazy gear, have that be specifically for future content. The Dark Zone, extend the Dark Zone like 5 or 6 zones. I think that would be great. Give us Central Park, make Central Park a dead zone for extreme PvP gameplay. That would be phenomenal. I mean, there's so many nooks and crannies and different paths and tunnels and trees and so many different things and different game modes you can come up with within Central Park. It'd be a heck of a lot of fun if that became a dedicated PvP space for mini games. That would be a blast. We really need to go ahead and try and see where this story is headed. Where did the main villain end up in? You know? I mean, heck, you finish the game, spoiler alert, you see his little echo, and you see him disappear. You don't see him again. I mean, I get that they're trying to make sure that this series has longevity, but make it so that this is a true experience where if they want to give survival, PvE, and PvE experience, why not give the whole damn map of the original game a PvE or PvP experience? Knock the Dark Zone out completely. Say the infection is spread outside of the Dark Zone. Now the entire area is 100% infected. And to get stuff extracted, to do things like that, there's going to be a main hub on the map somewhere. That is your main hub, your main home, and the safe house. And you can't even get the loot that you get from your safe houses, because that would just be crazy if they let you do all the safe houses all over the entire map. It would have to go to one designated area, so you'd have to be always having to go back, similar to the base of operations, but move it. Move away from the post office, go to a certain place, maybe by the hub or something, and we can make that your #1 spot. I don't know. I just really want to see what new things they can do, and hell, maybe they'll even do something crazy like what Watch Dogs 2 did, how they're doing certain missions where you're able to hack Ubisoft employees and see trailers of upcoming titles with an E3 reveal trailer like watermark over it. I think it's really interesting and unique that Ubisoft is coming up with all these new ways to try and showcase their future content and their games that they have coming out, because I want more from The Division. I want to see The Division do well, and I want to see what the future holds for this title. What do you want to see in year 2 content of The Division? Do you want to see a much more expanded version of survival? Do you want to see the entire map become a PvP zone? Do you want to see Central Park open up? Do you want to see the Dark Zone expand? Do you want to see more story elements, being able to level from 30 and higher? What do you want to see? I'm Insanity. Like if you haven't, sub if you're new, and if you're ready for more Division content, sign off in the comments down below, because I love you. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.